Hey, welcome to episode number 44 of the Ask Sri Vishwanath show. And it's a wonderful day. And in today's episode, we'll speak about why do human beings suffer? What's the number one reason most people do wrong or get it wrong rather?
You ask questions and I answer them. This is the Ask Sri Vishwanath show.
Alright, so today's question is from Joe's from Malaysia, and Joe says, I'm married, I have 2 kids, I have a great job, I love it. I don't get the feeling of happiness, the juice flowing. I always feel I'm seeking something, running after something. So what am I doing wrong with? So Joe's, it's really a wonderful question, seeking, chasing after the worldly things, and at some point, it's like there's a quote, I had everything to live with, but nothing to live for. And so I want to just, tell you a very beautiful story by Krishna Paramahansa, and this story is really very nice and sweet, and it will throw light on this in a very different perspective. So Ramakrishna Paramahansa tells a story where there was a village and there was a woman who was, making nice, hot, crispy, dal vada. Dal is lentil vada. It's like the, the mac meal. For those who are listening from United States and all, it's like she was making this hot, wonderful, spicy things, which is just beautiful, very nice to taste, And there's a crow. And the crow was, just looking at this woman making all this, and the moment, she kept the hot dal on the plate, the crow pounced on it, and it took 2 pieces in its beak, and it flew away. And the crow was very happy, and it wanted to go to a place and then just enjoy the vada. And what happened was, as it was flying, other crows, it saw this bird, this crow, and it started chasing this crow. And so, this crow was now fleeing from the other crows. And so, with the vada in its beak, it was just sort of like, going from place to place. And this other crows was also chasing this crow because they wanted to snatch away that wonderful piece of food. And so the crows, it just flew and flew and flew. It was so tired that, and this chase continued, for hours together. It would go rest again, and the crow was really tired, and it wondered, what do I do? Because I came here to, eat the vada, but now I'm, because that's there in the mouth, these people are just chasing, these birds are chasing me. Just like in our case. And so after some time, what it did is, it, opened its mouth and, just put the vada, and the vada fell down, and all the other crows just snatched on that vada which fell down, and this crow, just flew to another branch, the top branch. It was just watching calmly and relaxed. It was very happy and giving up the vada for which it had, at just about 2 hours before it desperately wanted it. Now it was very happy to give it up. It was sitting on the branch, very relaxed, while the other crows were just devouring the food. And the reason why Ramakrishna says that is, 3 hours before, the crow was desperate to get the vada and enjoy it. Thought, okay, I'll get it, take it to a distant place and then eat it and enjoy it. And, at the moment it got it, the other crows started following it. And then it could not enjoy it. And later, when it threw it away, it was very happy, and got a lot of peace of mind. I think, and the same thing Krishna says is that we come here to taste that happiness, just like to taste the happiness of consciousness, but we end up chasing or being running by our mind, intellect, by desires, by people, by events, by all the other things. And, Ramakrishna gives various examples. Like one of the things is, just look at it, attachment. Like all of us are carrying these various vadas, this food in our, this tasty food in our mouth. And that's the reason people are following us. If we leave it, we'll be very happy, but we hold on to it, and that's why we suffer. So, like, let's say, for example, attachment. When you first, and was the first, like the first time when a man, when you met your wife or your wife met you, how was the atmosphere? There was no attachment, it was freedom. And then when you married, look how the whole thing changed. So it's like, you went there to taste something, and it ended up like, both seeking something from each other. It was just like the bird having this thing. So just remember that attachment, like one of the vadas which we have, one of the meals which we have in our mouth, because of which the other hungry people are chasing us, is attachment. Just look back that when the first time you met, it was all freedom, then you married, and then it was like the same thing, sort of like became a burden because each was seeking, and there's responsibilities and all that stuff. So it's very important to take stock of it and understand as to, many times we lose perspective as to why we are going through all, because all we have is we drop that food, that attitude in this case, the attitude of attachment, will once again be like that free bird we were earlier. So drop that attachment of seeking, wanting, trying to change others, all that stuff. You drop it by 50% and you see great results. Second thing is property. Between rented and ownership, like when I used to have office on rent, for 5 years, it was so wonderful. I never had a problem. Then I had a beautiful big ownership. I just bought it and I got into all sorts of problems. The moment you buy something, it's like you say, it's mine, it is mine. And like when it's rented, you have the feeling of detachment. And when ownership, like attachment, this is my property, this is my, wife, this is my husband, this is my son, this is my daughter. So it's very important to understand that you've got to take perspective of why things are happening around you. It's because of the attitude that we are attached, we are attached. When it comes, if it's rented, we are detached. When it's ownership, we get attached. So just take a different perspective, and if you want, just change gears. Vivekananda says in a point, truth never exists where lust and fame and greed of gain resides. And no man who thinks of a woman as his wife can ever perfect be, nor he who owns the least of things, nor he whom anger chains can pass through Maya's gate. And off with them a sannyas in bold, say Om Tat Sat Om, Om Tat Sat Om. So just look at it and understand it's because of the ownership, that attitude of ownership, that we get attached. So do whatever it is to free yourself, change your lifestyle, and if possible, go for rented, or just drop certain attitude, whatever. Know that you're suffering because of that vada in your mouth. And take the example of car, like if it's your own car and between rent a car, when it's your own, you sort of like clean it, every Sunday spend hours and hours. If there's a dent, you lose sleep. I mean, what stupidity is that? But why is it happening? Because this time the car is your own. You say it's my car. Whereas in rent a car, you say you just drive it and just, leave it and just disappear. So understand what ownership does to you. It's like the vada in the mouth. It's because of that you're suffering. That's the root cause. We forget it. We think it's something else. That's it. Just a little bit of change, a lot of things, can get into. Then look at it as wealth. Remember those days when you never thought of money as a child, or maybe someone else was taking care. What freedom you had. And now, the first thing you think is money. Which chair to buy, what bank to go. I'm just saying that these are like the vadas in the mouth. This is the reason why you're suffering. It's not, there are other things, but this is the prime reason. If you can bring about slight changes in this attachment in relationships, attachment towards property, attachment towards car, the other vehicles, properties, the way you look at wealth, what's the first thing you do? First thing, you cannot think about money. You got to meditate. You got to be like that child of earlier. So understand that. And second, power. Look at it earlier when you were being taken care of by someone else, and so you really didn't have to do anything. Now you're responsible. You have company to manage, or you have employees to manage, or your family, your son, your daughter, whatever. And you have to dominate them, or you have to, talk to them. Some listen, some don't listen. And so all these things we get attached, so power. All these are like the vada. Then pleasure, look at it as pleasure. Earlier, you're like friends, girls with girls, boys with boys, or whatever, boys with girls, or whatever. And then look at it when attraction came to you, and you got first time attracted to a boy to a girl to a boy, Those are the things, those are the vadas, those are the things why human beings suffer. It's because of that attraction, because of that pleasure, because of that ownership, because of that attachment. And just look at it when you never had that, when you never had attraction for the opposite sex. How wonderful it was, because you really were free. But there's no, you did not get up with the thought of, earning more money, or which share to buy, or which stock to buy, or, do not with that craving of enjoying pleasure. You just think about it, that all this is because of that vada, and this is the prime reason. Look at about anger, how calm you were in your childhood. See your childhood photos, how calm you were, a smiling face, beautiful. And now, look at your face, it's like frowning, anger, and all that stuff. Why? Because we are carrying all that stuff. So drop few of them, take perspective. Remember the story that Ramakrishna about that crow, that beautiful vada, and want to enjoy the taste, but it ended up being chased, running. When it dropped it, it was very peaceful. And that's what in the end we all do. We grab, nature. Just take, whatever in the end, we'll all have to give up, okay? And if you don't, nature will put its hand into your throat and remove it. That's how nature is. Because nature, if you want to live here, you got to freely give. You got to give and then take. Not take and give. Because if you don't, nature will put its throat under you and take it. Because it takes away the body, it takes away the mind, it takes away the intellect, it takes away the property, it takes away all joy, everything. All the people you love, one day they will go away. So understand that it will be, really beautiful. And, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, the undiscriminating and the witless one, with no real yearning for the soul, is never peaceful and is never happy. The roving mind, conforming to the senses, robs one of perception as the wind blows the boat off its course. He wins peace in whose mind into objects of desires as river water enters into a full and stable ocean waiting to be filled and not one seeking desire. So, Jose, I hope I answered your question. You keep asking questions and I keep answering them.